Hello, everybody! This is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. Today is, in reality, Thursday, January 22nd of 2015. But for labeling purposes, this will be Wednesday, January 21st of 2015, because it's 12:03 and things conspired to keep me from doing this on time today. Basically, something was up with my niece that I'm not going to get into, and I had to wait for her to get home because I didn't want to, because the door's locked and I didn't want her knocking on the door and interrupting the video. She was supposed to be home last night, well, that is to say Tuesday night, but events conspired to keep that from happening. So then she was supposed to be home this afternoon, and then this night, etc., 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 and shit just kept getting pushed back, and we are where we are. And then I had D&D, so between those things, you get the idea. So, you know what? Let's take advantage of this while we have it. Breathless. I'm gonna need something to stuff in there. Where's my sandstone? There it is. You know what? Actually, that's just fine right there. Okay, that's just perfect right there. I love it. Okay, we're getting close. And there it went. So, go back here. Come on now. Swim, 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 little man, swim. I suppose I should get around to what my week's been up to. So yeah, my niece is back, as she's supposed to be. And there's been a slight hiccup at the place. Nothing that should stop us from getting in, but a minor annoyance that I wish we wouldn't have had to deal with. Basically, we're gonna try, while my niece was indisposed, I didn't have contact with her friend who's supposed to move in with us because, well, there was never a reason for me to have her contact info because my niece was here. Also, this looks so cool, this little maze. I love it. It's stupid, but I fucking love it. Anyway. There was no reason for me to have her contact info because I just tell my niece, hey, I need to talk to her, or she needs to talk to me, or whatever. And that was all of that, you know? So, as a result, I didn't have her contact info while my niece was gone. And shit happens. Someone gave her a better offer for rent, basically, than I did. So what I'm going to try and do... Ooh, shit, that was almost bad. And I'm going to try and see if she'll stay with us for a month, so that I can get the lease settled and all that, to prove that we're in there, to get in there, and all that. And then take on this new roommate and let her move in at the end, or move out at the end of the month. So, with any luck, that'll fly off without a hitch. Also, I have a new game to play. Actually, two new games. One's a video game, though. The new video game is, and I feel kind of dirty for doing it, because I was one of many people to make fun of my friend's ex for playing this. Little Big Planet I now own, because it looked like it would be fun to do with lots of people. Now, the trick is getting lots of people, because my one friend said flat out he won't do it. And I know Skinner won't do it, and Anubis probably won't do it, you know. So we'll see how it works, you know. Shit, I needed that. Ooh, also gotta scratch my back. There we go. But I've been playing Star Trek Attack Wing. I only have the starter set and an extra Enterprise, courtesy of a friend that I haven't spoken to in a very long time. Well, actually, the friend of my friend, who I haven't spoken to either of in a very long time. That's a little more realistic. No, Anubis, I can't do stuff. He's asking about his Warhammer figs that my one friend had when he moved, and we think his ex has them right now. And he's like, well, I can't get a hold of her anymore. And I'm like, well, actually, I'm not like anything, because I can't answer, but I'm recording. But yeah, Attack Wing, I own 2 Enterprises, a Klingon Vorcha-class ship, whose name escapes me, a Romulan Warbird, whose name likewise escapes me, and my real pride and joy, I have the Defiant. I don't physically have it, but I bought it on eBay for, and this won't sound like much, but I got this fucker for, what was it, $15.99. Basically, a lot of places are selling this thing, if you can get it at all, for like $100. Because it was very short sold, it's kind of hard to find, and I found a guy basically selling it at cost, at what it would normally cost if it weren't retardedly rare. But I own it, it's mine. It just has to get here in the mail by the 24th. Plus the 23rd. Either way, it'll be here before the 31st, and that's what matters, because I'm going to be playing in a tournament. And not just playing. At my local gaming venue, I will also be running tournaments. Because I asked the manager about that, not the manager, the owner of the store, and her response is, I would actually really like to see that played here, because she loves Star Trek. A lot of times between rounds, when nothing else is going on, if she stayed, the two of us will just sit back and talk nerd shit. So I really like being up at that store, because this is a woman I can talk Star Trek to, and Star Wars, and all sorts of other fantasy genre stuff. And it's, well, and sci-fi fucking fantasy genre. What am I talking about, Lord of the Rings here? But it's nice to be able to nerd out with anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. You know? And this is a case where I can do that. So yeah, I'm going to be running that, despite the fact that I don't have as much practical experience with it as I probably should. But that's okay, I learned fast. And it's, admittedly, it's partly selfish reasons. I want the prize kits. I really do. But I also really want to play this game. And the gaming store where I demoed this, and I learned how to play, and I bought my first ships, is extremely far away from where I live now, and even further from where I'm going to be living. So, to say it's hard to get to is a bit of an understatement. And it's not even a case of getting stuff cheaper there at the bookstore where I game, which is the case with HeroClix, because she sells for the same price that this guy does. It's just a case of, I've known her longer, and I'd rather give them my business. Not that I have anything against this other store. When I can get down there, I have no problems playing there. It's a nice place. The owner's nice. We had a... When I first went up there, we chatted for a good hour and a half, easy, you know. Mostly because he was off. Not off, but it was in the off hours, and he didn't have to do shit. But we had lots of productive chats about gaming in general, and gaming in the area. So, I like these people, but if I have to pick a store, I'm picking this store, you know? I'm picking the bookstore, because that's who's been with us for all this time, and who's given us discounts, and put up with our various bullshits. Because we've all had a bullshit moment. I've had a couple of them. To the point where, at the end of it, I'm apologizing to people like, I'm sorry I went off, and, you know. They're like, no, we know, but just try and calm down. But, I went off on Anubis once at a tournament, and I shouldn't have. And yes, I did apologize to him. Basically, it was a big event. I want to say it was... probably Avengers vs. X-Men. No, it was the Batcave. We were playing for the Batcave. That's what it was. And I was still very much in the running at the time. I lost to the guy in the second round who ended up going on to win. But I think he had one loss or something as well. So I still had a shot. And I lost abysmally to this guy, but I still had a shot because I had one win and one loss. And I basically told Anubis, hey, if you throw the match, there's a chance I could get the grand prize, you know? Or at least go easy on me, and we played an actual match, and I almost had him, but I lost. And I was just frustrated that I got dice fucked against him, and that he basically cut me out of a win, which, yes, this is cheating, but everybody does it. I'm not even exaggerating. If you have a group of players who go to a new gaming venue together, not just they all show up from the same area, but they go basically together, they are colluding. They just fucking are. To the point where if one of them's got a shot and the other one doesn't, like they were eliminated in the first round and for whatever reason they were the lowest or the highest loser and the other person was the lowest winner or something, they will throw the match. And he didn't do that, and I basically was pissy for a huge chunk of the day. Plus a couple of other things happened to make my mood even more foul. But the whole next day, I keep apologizing, and I'm like, look, I had no business going off on you like that, taking out my frustrations on you, etc. He's like, no, man, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's really not. Because I don't blow up at people like that. I really don't. I'm fairly even-tempered, but sometimes you just hit your fucking limit. And it was over a bullshit thing of, oh, I'm pissed because you didn't help me cheat to win a tournament. I mean, I don't exactly have the moral high ground there. Why are you so pissed at Anubis? Oh, he wouldn't cheat and he wouldn't let me cheat and win a tournament. That's kind of a dick move. Yeah, I know. But, yeah, like I said, there's also the fact that I go to this place every week anyway, for HeroClix. So I could just very well go up there and buy my Star Trek ships instead of having to arrange for bus fare or to ride my bike for an hour and a half or catch a ride there or back, you know? I mean, if this guy lived closer or if I had a more frequent way of getting there, I'd shop from him, at least for Star Trek, exclusively. I mean, I'm still going to buy a lot of stuff from the bookstore, both for HeroClix and books, because I bought some books again. Some Dragonlance books, because Dragonlance is so awesome. But, yeah, I would have no problem buying at least my Star Trek exclusively from this guy. Because he's a nice guy, he's got a beautiful store. Nice, big play areas. Keeps it clean, it's just perfect store. Great gaming store. The kind of store I would run if I had a store. You know? And, it's just a matter that, well, how to put this? He's just too far away to be practical. And you notice that, as I'm hollowing this out, I'm using sandstone because I want to keep it looking, sandy. That's just a design idea that popped in my head over the week. Because that's the thing, sometimes I will have some downtime, some mental downtime, and I'll just think about things, just miscellaneous things. And sometimes those things including include this special this week in Kyrix. So, yeah. Sometimes it's just a thing. And I decided, I always build in stone brick. I never build in sandstone. Sandstone looks really nice. I should build something in sandstone. And I chose for it to be my house. But yeah, Star Trek Attack Wing looked fun. I plan eventually to get all the Federation ships, which includes Deep Space Nine, which is a $100 model. And probably all the Romulans, and from there we'll see. The set is small enough right now, and the ships are sold individually. Like, when the Defiant that I bought, which is the Defiant with cards and tokens and shit, is, even though it's just the Defiant, it's referred to as the Defiant Expansion, because it comes with new captains, new crew, new weapons, new upgrades, and stuff like that. So it's technically referred to as an expansion pack, even though it's just one thing. Like in March, they're coming out with the Prometheus expansion. And you bet your ass I'm going to buy that, too. I've been playing, speaking of Star Trek, I've been playing Star Trek Online, again, legitimately this time. Not just, oh, I'm doing my races. I actually have been playing and leveling my Romulan and doing stuff with my Federation guys and ignoring my Klingon, usual shit. Because who seriously plays their Klingon? Although I have heard the Klingon story's been getting better. That is so tall up there. Pretty moon. Anyway. We've also got, this place is nice. Like I said, I've been playing Star Trek Online, and that's cool. I have a new controller for my computer. Because I bank with Chase, and they have this little rewards card thing. Which, incidentally, is also what my credit card is. It's an Amazon rewards card in that case. And years ago, I got a letter basically saying, oh, we're discontinuing the rewards program. At least that's what I thought it said. Apparently they weren't discontinuing the whole thing, just certain things. So I never really fucked up my points. So it's been building for like 3 or 4 years, and as I'm sitting here waiting for my credit card statement to come in so that I can see what kind of Amazon points I have, and what those will get me, I look up my Chase points and find out, oh, I've got, like, almost 3,000 points, so what can I do with them? The answer is, not much, It's almost as if each one of those points was a single penny or something. But it was enough to get me a new Logitech controller. And I had been using an Xbox 360 controller that a friend had given me, but it's kind of dodgy at times, and this was free. So why pass up free, right? It's going to take forever, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to have to fix that when I get up there. So yeah, new controller, so that lets me do emulated games easier. That lets me do MMOs easier, because I don't keyboard and mouse. I've never keyboard and moused. And say what you will about me, but I just don't like it. I've grown up with a joystick or a controller of some form in my hand my entire life. That's gaming to me. If you're in a video game and you're not pushing a controller or a joystick, you're not doing it right. You're missing pieces. So, yeah. And yes, I know that makes me something of a gaming snob. Oh well, I can live with that. I'm also weird in that I'm not one of those people who thinks the PC is even that good for gaming in general. I actually think it's rather horrible for gaming because, and I do have what I believe is a valid reason, I compare the PC to the console. Yes, there are lots of times when the PC can do things more powerfully than the console, but let's examine this laptop. I have this little Asus laptop. It's a Windows 8 thing. I would have had Windows 7 or so, but I couldn't. It wasn't an option. But anyway, this little Windows 8 laptop, it's not as powerful as my old Lenovo, but it gets the job done. God damn it. Come back, camera. There we go. Anyway, this little laptop can play a lot of older games, but I'm not going to get, like, say, Assassin's Creed running on this thing, probably, or something from late PS3 era. It's not going to happen. And this is a thing, by the way. When I was younger, when I first got on the internet and I was first learning what computers were really like in the modern era, because before then I'd had little computers where, before Windows was really even a thing, where you had little drop-down menus and shit. When I first saw Windows, I thought it was stupid. It was kind of fun, but it was also stupid. I'm like, ooh, I can click a mouse on this. This is a toy. Because I'm doing shit here. Well, I was a kid, I wasn't saying doing shit, but I was basically doing shit here with a mouse that I could normally do with the keyboard much faster because I wasn't navigating through Windows. Well, I'm like, okay, so, yeah. And anyway, this is when AOL was still a thing, you know. Incidentally, I still have my AOL Instant Messenger name from my original AOL account, basically. And it goes back to my Hotmail account, my Yahoo account, and all the other shit that I did back then. Because I have friends, no, I don't have friends, I have a friend who changes her screen name. I literally, on my buddy list right now, because I've never deleted any of them, no matter how much she stopped using them or whatever arguments we may have had, I have never deleted a single one of her screen names. And on her shit alone is something like, I just don't even know, it's so many screen names. It's like 18 plus screen names. That's a lot for anybody. But me, I've had the same one forever. If you knew me 10, 12 years ago, you can find me. If I was on your buddy list and you haven't deleted me, I'm still there. Hell, if I'm not recording, I'm probably online. I sleep with the thing on, you know? I really do. Even though this computer doesn't have any issues starting up, I still have that habit of leaving it on when I sleep that I had from the Lenovo, because sometimes when I turn it off, it doesn't want to turn on right away, and it wants to give me trouble. Which can lead to me trying to sign in for whatever thing and being stuck without a computer for half an hour or more. So yeah, it's an old habit. There's nothing wrong with my computer, I've gotten into the habit of doing that for like 2 years, so it's kind of hard to turn things off. Though don't worry, my computer gets turned off or at least put into sleep mode on a regular basis when I go to D&D. Because my character sheet is on the computer, and I like to put it into at least sleep mode, if not full-on shutdown when I go. And I go like 4 times a freaking week. I have 4 D&D games a week. So it does get turned off. It just doesn't when I sleep. You know, I sleep with it on. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. This goes back to 2 things. For my birthday, or maybe it was Christmas Eve, because you know my birthday's December 23rd. So I get lumped in that thing. I've never had less presents Or rather, it never feels like less presents. I have presents for those 3 days. Like, we have a gift exchange, we have Christmas. It definitely wasn't Christmas, though, because it was my cousin who got it for me. And it probably was a Christmas Eve thing, because we used to do this big family thing back then. But anyway, he got me this awesome game called Planescape Torment, which I may at some point let's play. It is an awesome game, as evidenced by the fact that I referred to it as the awesome game Planescape Torment. But I didn't buy this game, but I got this game and couldn't play it because my computer did not have the hard drive space. Now keep in mind, for those of you saying, well, Kyrix, I've bought games for my PS3/Xbox 360/Xbone/PS4 and didn't have hard drive space for that either, and that's a console. Keep in mind, the PS3 generation was the first one where that was really a thing. You know? Because the Xbox, the PS2, the GameCube, the N64, and all those other things didn't download like that. So, yeah. But that's not the thing. The thing is, I played a game, which I still have. It's, I forget what it's called. It's a Star Trek The Next Generation game. It takes place right after Insurrection. It deals with the Sona and all that. And, I want so badly to remember what this game is called, too. It's pissing me off. But, anyway, I have this game, and I tried to play it because, oh, Star Trek, I like Star Trek! And I do, I love Star Trek. See the whole Attack Wings thing and the, Star Trek Online thing. But I bought this game, and I couldn't play it because my computer flat out didn't have the specs for it either. And later on, years later on, I bought a game called Neverwinter Nights, which I own now. And I would be Let's Playing if I could figure out how. Because it's one of those rare things that doesn't mesh at all with XSplit. But the sequel does, and I don't like the sequel. I had started a blind run, but don't worry. It's still basically in the tutorial thing where I left off. So even if I do pick it up, again, it would still be a blind run. But I started this blind run, and I just couldn't get into it for whatever reason. Partly recording reasons, because I kept having to restart for whatever reason. Like, I kept getting killed in this area, and I had to go do something, you know? And that's what it was. I didn't want to have to keep watching that fucking cutscene again. But I bought Neverwinter Nights, gold version, which had Shadows of Undrentide before Hordes of the Underdark. Hordes of the Underdark existed. I had seen it in stores, but it wasn't part of the Platinum collection that I actually own now. But anyway, I wanted to play Neverwinter Nights because it was like, okay, Baldur's Gate had announced, basically, Baldur's Gate 2, that Neverwinter Nights was going to be a thing. And originally, you could import your Baldur's Gate 2 characters into Neverwinter Nights, and it was going to be so cool. And it still sounds cool. It's not true, but it sounds so cool. The problem basically lied with the fact that Neverwinter Nights is 3rd edition, and on a completely different engine, and Baldur's Gate is Baldur's Gate, and it's on its own engine. Well, not its own engine, but you know what I mean. And so, I still bought it anyway, because it's still D&D, even though it was shitty 3rd edition. Yeah, I hate 3rd edition. So soon. I'm a 2nd, 4th, 5th guy. But, I buy this game only to find out that because of my processor being what it is, I can't run this game for shit. It lags. It was physically impossible for me to play with any kind of anything, really, you know? It just wasn't a thing. I wanted it to be a thing. I desperately wanted it to be a thing, but it wasn't a thing. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I have never bought a Nintendo game that didn't work on my Nintendo. Never bought a GameCube game that didn't work on my GameCube. And when I say didn't work, I don't mean, oh, I put it in and it fucked up. No, I mean where, oh, I don't have the right GameCube to run this. Sorry, I need to go buy the GameCube 12, you know? No, if you have a GameCube and your GameCube works, and the game you're playing is not scratched, your GameCube will play that fucking game. Period. And that's why I think consoles are superior. Now, there are exceptions, like there were the two Ataris, the 2600 and the 7200, I think, or something like that. And the 7 would play shit that the 20 wouldn't. And allegedly, I never really checked back then, the 70 would play 20 games with better graphics. And of course, you do have the PlayStation 2, where some blueback games wouldn't play or on certain PlayStations like mine. My PlayStation notoriously hated blueback games. But that was neither here nor there. But anyway, you've got so many other things. So many other things. And I just like I said, I just enjoy the fact that if I buy a 3DS game, it's going to work. If I buy a Sega Genesis game and I have a Sega Genesis, it's going to work, and so on and so on. And that's what gaming should be. That if you own the system, it should fucking work. And that's my beef with the PC. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the computer. It serves many purposes. I do like computer games. Minecraft started out as a computer game. To 90% of the world, it still is a computer game, and that I'm some kind of fucked up imposter for playing the shitty console version. Because I don't have mods, so I'm not doing it for real. And you know what? If that's your thing, that's your thing. I don't necessarily do mods in a lot of games. I don't do mods in Minecraft because there's enough shit for me to do without mods. I do, however, do mods back in the day with Freedom Force, but that's because that was a game all about making superheroes. And the mods would allow you to make real superheroes, like Captain America and Cyclops and Wolverine. And frickin' Thundercats characters and Hulk Hogan and just everybody, you know? And I also play Bridge Commander with mods. Because Bridge Commander just works really well that way. To be fair, in Bridge Commander, there's a lot of ships that just aren't entered in the thing. And there's only like, 2 or 3 Federation ships, and no enemies that are really that dangerous. Like, you're fighting Cardassians and Ferengi, for fuck's sake. While the Cardassians as a people are a very serious threat, their ships, not so much. Cardassian ships are kind of a joke to me, and they always, always will be. Because the Cardassians' main ship, the Galar class, is... And keep in mind, Bridge Commander had it fairly canon as far as powers went. I could take on 3 Galar class warships basically in the Enterprise D from the Next Generation, without any real fear of being blown up. And if you think, well, Kyrix on Deep Space Nine, you know, your favorite show, they had to deal with the Galar class all the time, and they did. But keep in mind when that was. That was Season 1 and Season 2, when they would threaten the station because the station had no weapons. It wasn't until Season 3 with Way of the Warrior when the Klingons came back as antagonists, rather, because the Klingons had never been gone. The Klingons had always been there. But they were back as antagonists for the first time since Kirk's day, you know? And they had weapons installed, and photon torpedoes and phaser banks and all this, and just armed this station to the teeth in preparation for the Dominion. And after that point, the Gowler class never really seemed to be that much of a threat anymore. Because it wasn't. Because now that the station actually had the means to defend itself, those ships were nothing. Which makes sense, because keep in mind, Terok Nor was built by the Cardassians. You'd think they'd at least be able to have something, build a station that couldn't be taken over by one ship. Now, the Keldon class is a little bit better, not by much, and so on. But yeah, I play Bridge Commander with mods because it gives you all the ships. But I don't need a jetpack in Minecraft. I don't need scuba gear in Minecraft. Which are just two mods that I'm aware of. You know? It just, to me, it kind of breaks the immersion. Such as it is. Immersion's not the word I want to use, it's just the first word that popped in my head that even halfway fits. It ruins the flavor, that's probably a better term to use. So, what else? Yeah, I have Little Big Planet, speaking of mods. And I think that is not going to be a blind run, because it really wouldn't be, because I've seen that game played and Let's Played by like 2 different people at least. 3 different people. Because I've seen We Like to Pray, I've seen the Runaway Guys first, and then I saw Stephen and Mal do it. So, or maybe they just did Little Big Planet 2, but either way. Either way, I'm familiar enough with this game that it won't be blind. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and try to unlock as many of the stickers and collectibles as I can, so that when I finally find people to play with, we can customize ourselves as much as we want. You know? So you'll have interesting and original Sackboys to look at. You know, part of me made myself a little sick saying that word. I'll get over it, I'm sure, but you get the idea. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to play Attack Wing. I'm hoping I can get good at it, because I get good at a lot of games. What the fuck? I don't know how that happened, but okay. You know what? That's probably a thing I did on purpose. Well, if it wasn't before, it sure is now. That'll do. That'll do nicely, actually. Now I can glass up that other wall. So how much time have we got left? But yeah, I think that's what I'll do with Little Big Planet, because for the most part, I can find people who've never played it before, and it'll be blind for them. And it'll be kind of a Tales of Symphonia thing. The downside is, you won't be able to see my, what's the name? Trophies? Accomplishments? Awards? Achievements. You won't be able to see my achievements because I've gotten them already. Although you might see some new ones when I play with other people. Of course, the other alternative is to just play the game completely blind, unlock everything as you see it. But I'd rather do it this way. I'd rather the game's all about creativity. So why not flex that right away? Why make everybody wait for that? Why not just show off all our neat shit right up front, right? Right. So that's what I'm planning to do, probably. Oh, also, apparently, and allegedly, because I haven't checked this, DuckTales, the HD remastered version, is coming up for grabs if it's not already up on PlayStation Plus as a free game. And you can bet I'm going to play me some of that as a Let's Play, a blind Let's Play. You know, I took an inordinate amount of joy over something that was kind of silly in retrospect. I was watching a Let's Play, I think it was with the Runaway Guys, with Lucagin in it. And Lucagin does a lot of games, and she does some goofy shit and all that. We all know this. But lately, she's also been doing a lot of blind runs, or at least it seems like it's lately. And when she was talking to Proton John specifically, I think, but possibly also to Chugga and NCS, this is either, I think, on Little Big Planet 2 or Fortune Street. She said the phrase, "I'm a blind Let's Player, this is what I do," and that just makes me happy. Because I'm a blind Let's Player, and this is what I do, you know? To me, it's so much more fun for everyone involved sometimes to just go into a game that you've never played before completely blind. Because then you get to see me discover this game and enjoy this game with hopefully nothing spoiled to ruin the atmosphere of the game. And then I, of course, get to enjoy a game for the first time before I have a chance to get jaded about it. Because that happens, even with people like me who's mostly optimistic and likes to just let things happen. You know, I like to see things for things instead of for what they could be. Even I can get jaded about games sometimes. Sometimes it just happens. So you get to see all these great things happen. And that's what Let's Play should be all about, is seeing... Like, if you look at my Patreon, no, you don't have to donate, but basically, you're given a line to describe yourself, and mine says something along the lines, I haven't looked at it in a while, something to the effect of bringing my joy for gaming to the internet. Which I think is the most important thing about being a Let's Player. I mean, you can be cynical at times, you can be sarcastic, snarky, but if you don't truly love video games, then what the fuck are you doing as a Let's Player, you know? Like Yahtzee, for example, who, again, was the inspiration for This Week in Kyrix through his Let's Drown Out thing. That was him and Gabe just talking about bullshit. It could be either shit that happened to them, shit in popular culture, the games industry, controversies, that kind of thing. But they would play it over a boring game so that they're not distracting from it. Or it's not distracting from them, rather. They're distracting from it, which is the idea. And Yahtzee can seem like just a complete jaded, cynical asshole. I do not think he is. To me personally, from what I can see, he's a guy who just truly loves the game industry. I don't think he'd call himself a gamer. He does seem to like the title game reviewer, you know. But he writes games, he reviews games, and most of the things that piss him off the most are when people do something overall that just fucks up what could have been a good game. you know? It's Cubert! Well, almost Cubert, but still. Okay, anything else in here that I need to keep around? Let's dump this for now. I'm not going to be using any greystone for a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry, this episode's mostly me rambling and just getting very little done. Other than just hollowing out that oasis so that I can do something with it later. But hey, sometimes This Week in Kyrix is like this. Hi, cows! I don't need you for food, but I'm probably still going to farm you for reasons that I haven't quite defined yet. God, this music's so soothing, it pisses me off. That's right, the soothing music instills me with rage. Go ahead and figure that one out. I dare ya. I'd say I'll wait, but I'm not gonna wait. As soon as this is done, I'm passing out because I'm exhausted. I was falling asleep during D&D, though to be fair, that's normal for me on Wednesdays for a multitude of reasons. Partly because the Wednesday game is boring, which is no fault of the DM or the players, it's the fault of the module that just dragged on forever. Although we're breaking away from that to an extent, so I have hopes that it'll get better. Plus there's the fact that I tend to catnap during the day and I didn't do that today, so... But yeah, I'm just so tired. And none of you can hear it, but I've yawned like 5 times during the past 10 minutes. Actually, screw 10 minutes. 5 times during the past 2 or 3 minutes, actually. I am very sleepy. But hey, it's my fault for procrastinating on this for as long as I did, not getting my fucking work done. Speaking of not getting your fucking work done, I still haven't packed anything. Because I'm just so good at this moving thing. I'm the best at moving. Everybody's got to be the best at something. I figured I could be the best at liquids or moving. I chose moving. Only to find out that I suck at moving and should have went with liquids, because I'm pretty good with liquids. I live in Florida. Liquids are a thing. And I know that they're like, most of you are sitting here like, right? What the fuck is the best at liquids? What's that have to do with anything? Go watch Fee and Serial play Portal 2. Or Portal... Yeah, it was Portal 2. They did a drunken co-op run of the Portal 2 multiplayer. And at one point, Serial spilled his drink and said something along the lines of, I am the best at liquids. Which Fee remembered and called back later and told her, told him, I thought you were the best at liquids. What? Yeah, you had a little song, I am the best at liquids. And he's like, how the fuck do you remember that? We were both drunk, and that was yesterday or something. But it's a lot of fun to watch them, especially if you watch Fee, because she plays a little dirtier than she normally does, because she normally keeps it very clean, but there's a couple moments, just real candid thing. It's not like blatant profanity, but just casual swearing every now and then. Like, they screwed something up, it's like, and they were arguing who fucked it up. It's like, well, you're the one who fucked it up. I didn't fuck it up, you fucked it up. And just to hear Fee say fuck at all is amazing. Because she doesn't in her own stuff. Which makes it kind of funny. And then there's the fact that, like, not even 20 minutes into the game, she's managed to kill Serial. There's no PvP, and she still managed to kill Serial, and it was funny. Or she put it, yes, I did it! I killed Serial! I'm the best! But it's funny because I think he'd played through the game before, and she was going in blind. So you think, oh, well, that kind of ruins it. Well, on the other hand, he's drunk as shit, you know? So he can't remember half of it. Because every time one of them died, they had to take a drink. There was all sorts of rules for it, and I forget what even half of them are. And to be honest, I would love to do Portal 2 shit with someone on co-op. But on the one hand, I have seen so many things in Portal. On the other hand, it's a matter of not that I've seen it, but can I remember how the puzzles work, you know? And even if I can I make them work with my partner, whoever that is? I'm so tired right now. Honestly, I might not even go through the trouble of uploading this right away. I might just go the fuck to sleep. So if you're seeing this in your feed at like Thursday at 4:30 in the afternoon, it's because I'm very, very sleepy. I did almost record it on time. I missed Wednesday by like 3 minutes. But I'm still counting this as being Wednesday. So, yeah. Oops. The downside to doing everything in sandstone is it gives everything an Egyptian feel to it. Not that there's anything wrong with being Egyptian, in any sense of the word, but it's just not the look I'm going for. Or if not straight up Egyptian, then some kind of ruined desert civilization. So tired, bruh. In case anyone's wondering, today's D&D game, I want to say went off without a hitch, but it really didn't. Most of us almost died a couple times, but we had good synergy, and eventually we pulled through, so that's... Sometimes that's all you can ask out of a D&D campaign, you know? So I've covered D&D, I've covered Attack Wings. Finally got to use my Cosmic Treadmill on HeroClix, and it's every bit as annoying to my opponent as I thought it would be. It's a lot of fun. Got Little Big Planet, gonna have DuckTales soon, gotta work on Alien. I haven't really recorded a damn thing, because there's been house hassles and whatnot. I do have a new bike, though. Pretty new bike, too. Bright green. I love my new bike. Honestly, there's really not much else to talk about right now. And you know what? There's only 6 minutes left on the clock. I'm going to let this run down. I'm going to grab them and start the next one. And then we're just going to call it here. Because I need some sleep. One more. One more, and then we're done. Alright. Calling here, folks. I'm Kyrix, and this has been This Week in Kyrix. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.